I thought that was going to be cool.
We ate that.
I really thought that was going to be so cool. And I just actually felt it was so cringe in my opinion. But yeah, now we need to get readjusted. So give us a minute.
Hop. I don't
Anyways.
need, like, my microphone any closer than this. Like, we can...
Look at how quiet you are.
Where? Oh.
Aren't you on the top?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we're getting there.
Studio number 2. By
We're
the way,
trying out a different scene because of the whole parents in the background. We didn't really love the mojo of it.
it's okay. It's not the
And-
parents. It's the couch.
It's too chill.
It's too chill.
We got some feedback.
yeah.
And we heard it was just a little too
We had a
relaxed.
viewing party of our first episode.
Yeah, let's
Let's
say
just
that
say-
first episode definitely. Sorry, guys. Last episode, my mic was in my
Episode
face.
2. How's episode 2 going?
Pretty well. But we had a viewing party of the first episode, and we got a lot of feedback. Some negative,
None of it was
some
good.
positive. Yeah, so it's on its way. But I was right. In the first episode, I said that we would have 2 or 3 episodes underway before we posted our first. And
Yeah.
this is episode 3, so we're doing pretty good.
Yep, and this is our 3rd episode, and not a single one has been posted.
But I think it's good that we do that
Yeah.
because
No, I'm not complaining. We need to be
otherwise
ready
we'll get behind.
because we're gonna get so famous, and they're gonna be like, "When's the next one? When's
Exactly.
the next one?"
We're going to be like, what are you talking about? Also, we're really just trying to figure it out. Mic distance.
yeah, like if
Mic.
you never see this New York City again,
It's probably because we hated it.
or like the electrical box over there, you might not ever see it again.
Or we might
And
get
that's
some
okay.
for the wall. I don't know. We're figuring it out. Again, this is episode 3. I don't think anyone ever thought we were going to get this far anyways. So the
No.
fact that we're here is kind of crazy, in my opinion.
I think maybe I'll be wearing my new glasses in the next episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Which you'll have to let us know how you like them because Olivia is not a fan.
I don't love them. Also, sorry, I really just need to figure this out. Last episode, I was fighting with a mic, so I'm hoping that this episode that doesn't happen.
Did we keep our same mics?
I'm like 99% sure, yes.
I think so too because yours has always given us trouble.
Yes. And you had less straps on yours, I think,
Okay.
initially. So I don't know, but irrelevant. Anyways, today we're going to attempt to talk about parenting styles.
Yeah. Do we have any more like
Obviously, we're not parents, but
life updates before we get into it?
I'm like sick of work. Not
Oh my gosh.
not like working.
No,
or like
me I am
the
too.
job. I'm just like so exhausted every morning and every day. And I went to bed. We were gonna go play pickle last night, and
It did not happen.
he calls me at like 8:45, and I was like, no, not happening. I'm exhausted. And then I went upstairs because I was like, okay, I need to go get ready for bed. I went upstairs and I was going to listen to the episode and see what else I needed to change because I had finished editing the first episode. And I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock on my bed. I woke up at like 9:45, 10 o'clock and took a shower and was in bed and asleep before 10:30 last night. And then I
Yeah.
woke up just like fine, but still like kind of tired.
I don't know if I'm getting like burnt out from work already.
Right.
It's just this week is especially
We have
exhausting.
2 people out, and it's manageable, but it sucks. And if a place isn't hiring, give them your resume. You just never know.
Yeah. That is such a good tip because I've like been scared
Yeah.
to apply, even if they are hiring. I've been like, oh, I would love to work there. But then I like psych myself out.
Yeah.
Like when a new restaurant in our hometown opened, like I wanted to
Where
apply
Volkswagen works?
to work there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to work there, but then I was too scared. Like I just overthought it too much and then I never did and I regret it. I'm an
could've been
overthinker
fun.
though.
Aren't we all? I mean,
So we just went on a really long tangent.
like really long about something that we
Information
have to cut out
that like can't be in like cannot be released to the public until
after the event occurs.
which it's
Is
not
not.
occurring until
Like,
after this is supposed to be posted.
yeah. So,
And it has nothing to do with us. So it's
No.
none of our business to be talking about.
well, like it's fine to talk about it. It's not like we're like gossiping. It's just I can't be responsible for that's
The information getting out early.
We'll talk about it in
in the next episode.
most likely.
Have you ever seen the Life of Pets movie 1 and 2?
I think only the first,
There's a second one.
like The Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, The Secret Life
and then
of
they like
Pets.
fall in love.
And maybe is there a love story? Probably.
I think there is between the
don't
fluffy
know.
dog and the main dog.
I don't know, but he reminds me of JoJo.
Oh, that's my dog.
Isn't he cute?
Yes. And you know what? Here's the thing. I don't think it's weird, which this is so good. This leads into something that I wrote in our notes. I
Okay.
don't think it's weird for adults to watch kids' movies. Frequently,
To an extent.
yeah, I would say. But this leads into something that I put into the notes like right before this. Are we still kids?
See, okay. When I was young, we both have older siblings.
Correct.
And like I would look up to my brothers and be like, wow, like he just turned 20, like he's so old. I wish I was 20. I want to be out of like high school. It would be so cool to be
Yeah.
in college, blah 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 blah.
Yep.
But now that I'm over the age of 20 and in college, it's like I still feel
Like a kid.
young. Like
yes.
I don't feel like an adult. Does that make sense?
That 100%. Even now, my brother just turned, well, in December, so not really just, but well, our brothers just turned 26.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, like, no offense, but that's kind of old. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I
you
know.
guys
I
seem
always
so
like
mature.
clown
Like,
my brother for being a
my
millennial,
brother-
even though he's
yes.
not.
My brother just bought his first house.
Uh-huh.
Like he's living on his own. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm still a little child living at home. But in high school, as freshmen, I was like, holy crap, the seniors are huge.
Yeah.
As a senior, I
And
felt
then when you're a
smaller than the
senior,
freshmen.
like,
I was like, how?
I mean, you look at the freshman, you're like, you look like you're in elementary school. But
Yeah.
as a senior, you don't feel
feel-
old. Like you feel
It's so
like,
weird.
Yeah. I think it's because like every growing stage, it's like all the adults in your life are like, oh, when you're a senior, like things are going to be different. You're going to be held to a higher standard. Like,
BS. I'm sorry.
And then it's same thing with college. Like all the teachers and your parents in high school are like, oh, that's not going to fly in college.
they started.
Like, that's not how this works in college. Like, you're going to have a lot more responsibilities in college. Like, your life's not going to be fun in college. When you're older, when you're an adult, like, you're going to have bills. You're going to have to work, blah, 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 blah.
They started this in like middle school.
Yeah.
They're like, or honestly, maybe even elementary school. Oh, they're not gonna, they're not gonna allow that in middle school. Oh, they're not gonna allow that in high school. I'm like, I'm pretty sure my high school teachers were more lenient than my middle school
and
teachers.
same thing for college.
College professors are just trying to get through the day like you. They do not care.
They don't want to be there either.
If you turn your assignments in, if you don't turn your assignments in, they don't care.
But it's just like nobody is like, nobody wants you to look forward to those moments. So not that you're scared, like we wanted to be older. I don't know why.
I
Like
will
I would
say-
never go back to being a kid.
No, and I would never even go back to high school, not in a heartbeat, not if
No.
you paid me all the money in the world. I would never go back. I hated high school. That can be an entire episode. I
Yep.
think I could go on a rant about how much I despised high school.
I
But
agree.
college is exactly what I expected it to be. I have so much more freedom. I get to choose the classes that I want, whether I like them or not. I still get to choose them. So I feel like I have
Yeah.
more say in what
But that's
I'm
like,
learning.
it's exactly what I expected because
Yes.
of my own expectations,
Yes,
not because
no.
of what people told me.
No.
Because of the
Yeah.
expectations that I expected from what my brothers told me and what
Yeah.
my parents told me from having that experience.
Yeah. I I would say also like, well, freshman year was bad for me, but that's for other reasons. I would say though I've had more fun in the last 2 years than I did all 4 years of high school.
Yeah. And like, not that I didn't specifically have a bad high school experience. Like, I definitely enjoyed my time in high school during high school,
I did
the
not.
second half,
Like
or like the middle,
junior and senior.
like the
when
middle
our
two
friend group
years.
came.
Yeah.
Well, but that would have been senior year too.
Well,
You know.
I don't know.
We talked about that
It was
already.
it was a little messy. I don't know. I don't know. I liked high school when I was in high school, but then when I was out of high school, I realized how horrible high school was. Does that make sense?
Right. Like you don't.
Yeah.
Looking back, you don't want to go back. But
Yeah.
like
when you're in it, it's not that bad. Like you still
aren't
want to
enjoying-
leave.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that being said,
You get it. You get the
the
point.
point. Make expectations of your own, because half the time what people tell you is not always
Mm-hmm.
true.
Driving to move into college, moving into my dorm, like having a roommate, like for the first week, going to the first week of classes.
It was
It was
a huge
so,
adjustment.
like it was a huge adjustment, and that is probably like one of the worst days / weeks of my life, probably.
Really.
Yeah.
I didn't
Just
have
like-
like that bad of a first week. It was like the first month. It wasn't like the worst month of my life by any means, but it was just like you really go through a life crisis.
Yeah.
It's not mid.
Like-
It's just like you go through a crisis of like, who am I? What am I
Yeah.
doing? Where am I at? I have to figure out how to live on my own. I have to plan my
Mm-hmm.
own meals. It's like you're really becoming an adult. And okay, I know we probably sound crazy and like, oh my gosh, they're
I
just
feel like this is a universal experience.
getting to the real world, they're not going to understand it. But it's like, I think that first month of college really prepared me for what it's going to be like when I have to live on my own, pay my own bills. And not that in college you're really paying substantial, well, you kind of are,
Some
I guess.
people do.
Yeah.
It
I don't know.
depends. I just like I have a lot of like social anxieties, so
See,
Like, I wasn't
don't
really-
have those as much.
yeah.
So I could see how that would.
I wasn't
yeah.
really close with my roommate. I knew who he was. We weren't
don't-
like close
That
friends.
was a weird, yeah, an interesting pick. But so was mine.
Honestly,
like-
I don't regret it.
oh, me neither.
I don't
loved
regret my
freshman
roommate.
year roommate. We had one little moment, one little hiccup,
Yeah.
but we got past it. And I mean, she's an amazing person. Love her to death. And I honestly don't think I would have chosen anyone else.
I don't regret my roommate, but it was an interesting like
It was definitely an interesting pick.
yeah. But like I didn't know really anyone in my building.
Right.
Like just meeting like new people all the time and like my anxiety and stuff.
Right.
I would have rather just like had my own room and just never left it, which would have been really bad.
Yeah, that would have been horrible, I think. But you ended up having your own room eventually.
Yeah.
Was that
not till this semester, but-
sophomore year? Sophomore year, wasn't it?
No. Sophomore year, I had Edge all year.
Oh, because, yeah, we moved. Sorry. Yep. Yeah.
We moved.
We did. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. So then it was which semester? Oh,
Spring
spring
semester, freshman year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if I would have liked having a room on my own.
I enjoyed having my own room second semester, but I don't know. I enjoy having my own house too. Living off campus
Right.
is a dream. I
I
like
love
my
it.
house.
I literally could not
I
ask for
couldn't.
anything better.
Yeah.
Like, I love living at home. Obviously, free rent, free food. Who doesn't love living at home? But in my situation, it made more sense.
I would say this to someone though: live on campus.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, if you, like, freshman year, okay, not my freshman year, but Kayla's freshman year, yes. Sophomore year, like, you meet people, like, you experience things, like, it's good to live on your own and to live in that environment where everyone is experiencing the same thing as you. Everyone
Yeah.
is going through this crisis. Everyone is trying to figure themselves out. And so, like,
You're
It's-
gonna think you're weird, but
you're not.
And, like-
And honestly, I think that part of life was the most movie-like part of
Yes.
college or part of life that I've experienced. Like, people leave their doors open. That happens in real life. Like, I felt like the first month of college was, well, for the most part, it was pretty movie-esque. Like, they do a pretty good job.
it was a movie.
The movies do a good job of that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We don't have to talk about college the whole time.
no.
It's whatever, you know?
You know, are we kids? We don't know. Probably.
I feel like we're going to be kids forever.
Yeah.
Do you think it's appropriate that we still watch The Secret Life of Pets? I
Honestly,
personally love the movie.
I thought it was so cute.
Zootopia.
Never seen.
Oh,
Sing?
honey.
I don't think I could ever watch Sing. I don't know why.
What?
I don't know why. It just
Okay.
like kind of scares me or something
There
about
is
it just feels
my
weird.
favorite part of Sing is the grandma who is flying around in this red sports car, and she like makes it off the road somehow. She's just jamming out to the music. The point is, I like that stuff. I don't usually like animated movies, or like I'm not a Disney adult.
No, I'm sorry.
Like, that's not what we mean here.
No,
We're not
no,
trying
no.
to say
And
like
honestly, no
adults
hate.
should be able to watch Disney movies. Is that even
No.
Disney? I don't think,
I don't think
those
it
are.
is.
I think
Those-
it's like,
well,
hold
no,
on.
that's on Netflix. Secret Life of Pets is on Netflix.
I think it's
don't
Pixar.
know.
Oh.
No hate on Disney adults, but also like, are you guys okay? Like, I'm kind of slightly concerned about you. Like, why? Is it like a kid?
I think it's Pixar. Is that Disney? Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it's not.
It is Disney.
It's
not-
Illumination. Same thing as Despicable Me, which
Yeah,
I love
I
Despicable
love
Me
Despicable
and the Minions
Me.
movies.
I don't think I've seen the newest one, but I'm just like, can someone dive into Disney adults?
See,
Because I have some questions.
Like, no shame,
right?
but
No hate, but
I
like,
don't even think I will be able to go to Disney World with my children and like be able to not crash out.
yeah, for multiple reasons. You are probably for anxiety in large crowds.
Like,
I just
Yeah.
like, it feels weird. Like, let's just go to that place in Florida, that roller coaster place.
I don't know.
Hyundai knows what I'm talking about because Busch Gardens.
Sure.
Like, let's go there. Why do we have to go see the castle?
I don't know. It's just
Your grandparents can bring you.
like all these people. I don't know. I went to Disney as a kid,
Same.
and I don't really remember it. I went on vacations as a kid, but I was really young. Like, we went to Hawaii, and
We never
I
did that.
I remember I remember a few things, but like I was pretty young. I was in 3rd grade. 4th grade.
I
What?
just realized
I was in
while I
3rd.
get this fixed,
I don't know what grade I was in. 3rd or 2012.
another reason I will simply refuse to take my children to take my
Uh-oh.
children to Disney World. I cannot do the mascots.
Yeah, I was thinking about like they're all in costumes.
I will actually crash out, cry throw up, fall apart, die all in one.
Yeah.
Like I will become a puddle on the ground. As an adult, I don't know how I did it as a kid. No, the lines were so long. I never met any of them as a kid because the lines were so long.
See, I don't even remember any. Like, I don't remember there being lines.
Oh, the lines. I remember
You
it
know,
was
like
hot.
I don't remember
I
anything
have
about
that-
it.
I had that book though. Do you remember that book that I had in my closet that every time I turned the light on it would
Yes.
whatever.
Was there-
It was
yeah.
it was like the princess music of
Yep.
like whatever. So I had like this book of it was supposed to be a scrapbook of every picture of me with like
Yeah.
the characters. But it was empty and every time you open it, it was supposed to be like magical.
But there's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it because the lines were so long. But we bought the book for some reason. I don't really get it. And so I had it like cracked open in my closet, just like as decor. I was weird back
Like
then.
as a high schooler.
Yeah, I was weird back then. Let's not talk about it. And then I realized one time I turned my light on, and it was like, "Ba-da-da-da." I'll try and find the music and play it. And I was like, what the heck? And I just kept it that way. And everyone thought it was so funny. I thought, well,
Like-
maybe people were just making fun of me, but I thought it was kind of funny. And then it eventually died, so I had to get rid of it.
I do remember a few things from Disney. Okay, I lied.
Okay, give it to us.
Here's the first thing. Something about Star Wars, because there was this guy with a bunch of face makeup on.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the character was, but he was red and black, like some pattern on his face. And then I remember seeing like a bunch of Jedis. That's Disney, right? Star Wars.
It wasn't back then, but it is Disney now. I don't think that Star Wars
Did they have like a
Star Wars like roller
like
coaster
exhibit? See, I don't remember going on rides. Maybe I was too little. And I'm remembering this because my mom was like an avid scrapbooker. Like there's an office in our house
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
a scrapbooking room.
Yeah, literally.
Like we have a scrapbook. Each one of us kids has a scrapbook for each vacation we've gone on. And so I'm like trying to remember like the Disney scrapbook
did have
that I
Star
have.
Wars.
Okay.
So you were right.
And I remember these pictures, so I'm kind of remembering that. And
I remember it was rainy when we went, and
shoot.
I couldn't go to the Honey, I Shrunk My Kids exhibit.
Oh, I remember one more thing.
I was so sad. I don't know
The
why.
what?
The
Oh, I remember
Honey,
that movie.
Honey, I
we
Shrunk
have
My
it.
Kids. Yes, it's
I
such
don't
a good movie.
know if I've ever
and they
seen it,
had like
though.
an exhibit, and everything was like
That's
large.
Disney? Supposedly.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure it was in Florida, and I was so sad. And I also vividly remember I kept singing the Jake and the Neverland Pirates and something. Like I kept singing that theme song. I don't know why. My parents probably thought I was annoying.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'll take my kids on vacation, but they need to be old enough to remember.
Right.
Because
100%.
I don't remember a lot of that stuff. I
Well,
remember
also,
through pictures.
You're not gonna want to go to Disney World. or
I'm not gonna want to
Disneyland.
go. Period. I don't care how old they are. We're not going. Like
Have you ever been to Disney
World?
World?
there's like a world. There's one in California and there's one in Florida.
Land, I think, is Florida.
And Disney World is
California. Orlando is World. Land. I don't know.
I don't know. One
I've
of
only been to the
them,
one in Florida.
Walt Disney World, is in Tampa.
Oh, I thought it was Orlando.
Guys,
Florida. It's
you know
in
what?
Florida.
I don't know. I wrote an entire paper about how it was Tampa.
Well, you could still be right. I remember we went.
Because there's,
I
or
don't
no,
know.
it is Orlando. Because it's like one of the most impoverished cities, but then there's like a multi-billion-dollar industry, Disney, right in the backyard of like the poorest county of Florida.
Really?
and I wrote a paper on it.
That's actually kind of interesting. I wonder
Yeah, it's
what the
crazy.
science is behind that.
There's a movie called The Florida Project.
Yes.
Did you see? Did we watch that together?
No, but you were telling me about it.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of about. Because it's about this little girl who grew up in a motel, and like Walt Disney World is right behind the motel, and this motel is full of like very impoverished families. Like that's their home.
But they
And-
like can't live there permanently, technically.
Yeah,
right?
they like once a week. Like they can only live there 6 out of 7 days of every week for like some like of one of the city ordinances. So like every Sunday they all move out and go to the hotel across the street.
That's so funny.
But it's just ironic because like Orlando is right behind the hotel
Right.
and there's just like this huge industry.
That's like literally. But you don't see that.
No, when you're on vacation in Disney World, you don't care about you don't care about all the homeless people in Orlando. That's not what you're thinking about.
I have pictures like I had a digi camera back then, back before they were popular. Now
Yep.
they're blowing up. I had one, and I have like pictures of like the towels that they had put into Mickey, like a shape of Mickey. And I have pictures of the hotel. I thought I ate with those
Like
pictures.
our Hawaii trip, I remember like the rental cars we had,
Like for
the
what?
hotels we
Yeah.
stayed in.
Not being in Hawaii.
I remember Pearl Harbor.
Oh, I mean that's yeah, I could see why.
Trying to remember, like I would remember more if I thought about it, but
Yeah. But anyways,
I think vacations are like a really good way to segue into the real
that's
topic
so
for
good because like, are you gonna take your kids on vacation? Because I, as a kid, never. Well, my parents are divorced, so I think that was also one thing. We never really went on
Yeah.
vacation because I don't know. Not that like divorced families can't go on vacation, but that was, I think, just kind of our thing. Like we just didn't go because the vacations that we did go on when I was a kid were with my parents and they were separated. Like my parents went to Disney World with us,
When they were divorced.
like in the midst of the divorce. Like,
Which,
they
honestly,
had been divorced, and
They're so good for that.
I know it was kind of interesting, but we went on that vacation and then I don't remember the timeline. My mom is now remarried and we went on vacation to Florida again with like my step family, and those were like the only vacations we ever
Florida.
taken. And then me, my dad, and brother go to Colorado every year to watch a hockey game, but that's not really like a vacation.
It's just a quick getaway.
Yeah. So I was never the kid that was going to vacation, but I remember vividly a lot of my friends would like, yeah, we're going to the Dominican this year. We're going to Cancun. We're going to Hawaii. We're going to Mexico.
We go to
We're
Mexico
going
every
to
year.
Blah, 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 blah. One of our friends has been to Cape Cod. Like, I feel like I was not the kid that traveled, and I want my kids to have that experience. Like, if I have the money, let's
Yeah.
travel. I love traveling.
Just to be clear, our topic is how do we want to raise our kids?
Which
Parenting.
I think
Did we
there's
talk about that? What our
Probably.
topic is?
I don't know. I think there's a good deal of things that Kayla and I probably disagree on with this,
That's okay.
which is fine. That's the whole
I
point
think
of
we
this
agree
podcast.
though. I personally want to travel. I had a similar experience. We went to Hawaii in 2012 and then we went to Cabo in 2022. 10 years later.
Were we in high school when you went to Cabo? No, you were in
No, college. Freshman year.
of college, yeah.
And I mean, we traveled around the United States, like on the mainland.
Right.
Like we went to Texas twice,
I remember that.
in high school. like way northern Minnesota, but that was like a road trip. And like we road trip back and forth to like my hometown, which is like 5 hours away all the time.
But
So
is
like
that's not
it's
really
consider it's travel, but it's not like a
Yeah.
vacation in any means.
right.
So I travel a lot growing up, but like it was never like a vacation instance.
Right.
But
We
for the main reason that I want to travel, like I will take my kids on vacation, hopefully, if I can afford it.
right.
But like I want my kids to remember it. Like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I would agree. I would 100% agree. I think that it's fun to experience those things and to see what else is out there because I don't this is something that makes my mom cry. I do not want to live really in South Dakota.
See, that's my thing too. I have like a really unhealthy relationship
Like-
with like when I am gone, like when I'm somewhere else,
I want to
I don't
stay.
want to come back.
And so it's like I want my kids to be able to see what else is out there because I don't really want my kids to live far away from me, obviously. We don't have kids, first of all. Let's make
Yeah,
that
just to
clear.
be clear,
We don't have kids. We're nowhere near having kids. We're both very single. Like
Yeah.
it's just but anyways, so like I understand why my mom's sad about it, but I have never experienced anything outside of
yeah.
a 45 1 hour radius within like you know what I mean?
For a long period
like,
of
for
time.
long periods of time. And so I am just so excited to travel and see what else is out there. I might end up coming back 100%.
Yeah.
I might not.
I
That's
think-
the thing.
Like where I think the community that we went to school in and grew up in is great. Like it is the
Yeah,
perfect
I
place to
would
raise a family.
Probably never send my
But
kids
the
there,
sole fact that that's where I went to school and that's where I grew up makes me not want to raise my family there.
100%.
Like
I know
I've been
exactly
here
what you
too
mean.
long.
Yes.
Like if I could have that exact town
Well,
like
here's the thing.
in
I
a different state somewhere else, I would live there.
I do not want my kids to have to. Oh, I taught your mom.
I taught your dad in high school.
Oh my
and it's this
God.
boomer teacher talking
yeah,
to them,
and I
and
didn't
my
like
kid's like,
them.
I don't care. And then they go home to me, and I'm like, oh, that was the worst teacher ever.
Yes. So it's just like I just don't care to like be a legacy. That sounds
Yeah.
dumb. I
No,
don't care
I
for
don't-
my kids to follow in my footsteps.
I don't either.
And yes, our school is one of the best in the state. Yes, is a great school, but
yeah.
I
I don't care. There's better schools.
I would agree.
Like this, there's like a school in Texas where they only have school Monday through Thursday.
What are the test scores like?
I don't know, but their classes are. I don't even know if it's in Texas.
Somewhere.
I just remember hearing about it. Their classes are like all the last 2 years of high school. It's like all like CTE stuff.
Oh, so like real life.
Like stuff
Get
that they
them-
would be interested in.
get
like,
them plugged in.
Yes. Like plugging them
Yeah.
into like real life application,
Right.
which I think is so valuable.
I wish I say I wish I would have done it, but I don't really. I wish I would have.
No,
but
I
also,
don't
like,
regret not doing CTE because what am I
I-
going to go do?
Right.
Electrician stuff?
But
Like
that's
it's a good
yeah.
opportunity for if that's something you're interested in. They
Also,
didn't have
if
like
you
a wide
don't
variety of
know-
things
If you don't know what you want to do,
in college.
but I knew I
Yeah.
was set on what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
so it didn't really apply to me. But this is something I've kind of thought about recently, and I think I might like low key want to homeschool my kids.
Really?
I kind of think so. There were some patients that came in. I don't even remember when it was.
This is
recent, like,
really good.
Within a couple of months, and I was talking to them. Oh, it was like right after school had gotten out or something. I was like, "Oh, are you guys?" Oh no, school was still in because I said, "Oh, you guys like missing school today to get your eyes checked? Like that's so fun." Like I used to love missing school for appointments, even if it was the dentist, which I hate. No offense to my doctor, but I hate the dentist, and he knows that. But they're like, oh no, we're homeschooled. And I was like grilling them about it. I'm like, oh really? Do you like it? Like, do you guys still feel like you have a lot of friends? Like, do you have a co-op? Like, what do you guys do? Like, asking the kids' perspective. Because like, oh, as a parent, I love homeschooling my kids. I feel like it's so good for them.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to hear what the kids have to say. And they were nothing but good words. Nothing but I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just, with the way that the world is working, I just don't think I want to put my kids in that.
Who was the family?
I don't remember. You would probably recognize them, and they're a really sweet, really cute family. I don't.
Are they like country? Maybe it's a different family. There's a family though that they homeschool, and they are like the sweetest people.
They have 2 kids.
All of them. No, not who I'm thinking of.
I think
The
well,
parents,
they only had
the
2 in that
kids.
day.
So independent too.
Wait.
So independent.
No,
the kids
that's not
are.
the family I'm talking about. Anyways.
Like when I have a 14-year-old checking into their own appointment, paying their copays, like, and they're not uncomfortable and stuff, like, that is like a very advanced teenager.
Oh, 100%,
young teen.
100%.
Like, no judgment to a 14-year-old who's like uncomfortable checking themselves into their own doctor's appointment that they just
Right.
walk to after school. I would be the same way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about my insurance. I wouldn't know whether I needed to pay a copay. I wouldn't know what a copay is.
Right.
But like they are very independent, and I don't know what that says about homeschooled, but here's what I have to say about homeschooling. The families that I know outside of like this town, like in my personal life,
Yeah.
like I don't think this is what I'm about to say is based on that. I don't think I would be able to homeschool my own kids.
Right.
Like I would have to learn a lot, and if I homeschooled my own kids, I would not be able to do that on top of having a career,
Right.
which I mean, like I don't have to have a career.
Right. Like if
I'm
we're-
going to need a breadwinner, you know what I
if
mean?
we're marrying into some rich
Yeah, if I'm
family,
marrying into
okay,
money,
I'll
I'm
be
not
a
going to
stay-at-home
complain. Like
mom.
I'll but then it's like I don't want to have to worry about like getting my kids involved, you know? Like
Yeah.
getting them. I think that is so important.
And I
Like the
agree.
social aspect of
But they can
homeschooling.
do sports within. I think I know that they can definitely do.
I think
band.
so. Yeah,
But I
you
think-
know,
I feel
you were
like-
very close with someone who was homeschooled for most of their education.
up until high school.
Like,
he
what was that
homeschooled.
person's experience? Did you ever
So
talk about it, or?
Yeah, we did a little bit. He was homeschooled up until 8th, so through 8th grade.
And
He
was it one
started-
of his parents that did it?
It was his mom.
Okay.
Yeah. So his mom didn't work. Love her to death. She's so great. She homeschooled all of her kids, all 5 of them, and up until some of them were a little bit different just because they moved around a little bit. So some of them only got homeschooled, like I think some of them started like public school and middle school. I think.
Okay.
Like they didn't all go up until
Yeah,
8th
that
grade
makes sense.
just because like they were moving. I think is kind of how that was working. But anyways, he liked it. He had a great
Yeah.
co-op. He, as far as I'm aware, and maybe he hated it, and I just was a bad
Misread
girlfriend
it.
and totally did not understand that. But I think he was kind of an exception to the awkward homeschool kid because I knew him when he was homeschooled in middle school, and the man was like a very outgoing, very
That's
not
good.
introvert, a very wild, like funny guy, and that helped him in public school make a lot of friends.
Well, yeah.
And so, like, I think that's a little bit different where, like, there are some people who are homeschooled who kind of get introverted. And so, like, going into the real world is where they tend to have problems. But I think he liked it. I think he enjoyed it. But I also think that, like, doing public high school was really beneficial for him, too.
Yeah. I think
So,
I see the benefit in homeschool. Like one of the things I have on here is like, what is one thing you wish schools taught you that you want your kids to learn?
practical things. I mean, writing a check. Like, let's do some personal finance. Let's learn how to budget. Let's learn
Yeah,
how to what is car insurance? Why do we need insurance?
exactly.
What groceries, cooking.
Like what is an interest rate?
Right.
Like what's an interest
Loans.
rate? Why should you be saving and not just like spending your entire paycheck all the time?
Yeah.
Like why should it be a goal of yours to buy a house?
How to interview.
Yes, interviews are huge.
Like that.
Interviews are huge.
Like, yeah.
And the only reason I know anything about interviews and have interview prep is because of my degree.
right.
Like, did you learn anything about that in your degree?
No, and I have interviews coming up this fall.
That's what I mean,
for
like-
grad school, and I'm like crapping my pants because I have no clue how to interview.
Yeah.
I was very, very gifted and practically handed all of my jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really had to interview for any of my jobs, which is like, again, a blessing, but also like low key kind of sucked.
Yeah. Well, it's like my entire seminar class, a college level class, was pretty much how to build a resume, what to put on it,
Yeah, that's another thing.
how to interview,
Resumes.
what to expect. Like, and this is something that should have been taught to me in high school.
Right. I also think that college, the topic of college, I don't think was really discussed at all. I really don't think it was discussed that much. It was just like, are you going to go to college or are you not going to go to college?
But what do you think about college with your kids? Like, do you expect them to go?
So
Do you, like, how do you?
I want to say yes, but it's like I want my kids to be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, Volkswagen didn't go to college,
No.
and she loves her life.
Yeah.
She has a great job. She's in the working field. She is doing great. I think like that. I think if you have a path, if you have a plan, and you're not just going because you hate school and you don't know what you're going to do with the rest of your life,
Yes.
I can accept that.
I
But if
agree.
you're going to just get a willy-nilly job and, well, I don't really know what I want to do, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 and then do nothing about it, I don't really think that I can get on board with that. You need to have a plan
think
for
I
yourself.
agree.
And if you're not going to go to college, you're moving out. You're living on your own because I don't need you freeloading and trying to figure life out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think
jump into the real. Okay, I say that like so hypocritically because I am freeloading, but it's like I'm not gonna sit here and pay for you to do nothing.
yeah, to an extent. I think
So you think okay? Yeah,
I agree, but I also disagree a little bit.
Give it to
Not
me.
necessarily. Well,
Give it to me.
I agree.
Why do you
I
disagree?
feel like you could have said it better, but I agree.
How
I think
c-
we
what did I
agree,
say
but
wrong?
I'm gonna say it
yeah.
how I think you.
Sometimes
meant
I'm a
to.
little. I think I'm just a little blunt. Sometimes.
think-
a lot of times.
I want my kids to be as successful as they can be,
I agree.
and I want them to love what they do.
I agree.
So I don't want them to just go to college because they feel like they have to, or because they feel like they're pressured
no.
to go to college.
Yeah,
by
no,
me.
that I agree.
No, I'm not
I
saying that's
don't.
what you were saying, but
I agree with that.
like if they want to go to like a trade school
You're
or
right, like a tech school,
like
whatever.
cosmetology school or
Yeah.
something else, or if they were going to start a business.
Yeah.
The thing is, I agree, they need to have a plan.
Yes.
Like, we're not just going to work at the nursing home for the rest of our life.
right, or the restaurant,
Yep.
and like okay, maybe
And you can
your-
have some time.
Maybe your plan is to take over the restaurant. Okay, I love that plan for you.
Yes.
But you're gonna be living on your own, and you're gonna I'll be there to support you, but
Yeah.
you're not going to be living under my roof. I don't.
Like, we'll give you some time.
We'll give 100%. I'll give you some time to figure it out.
Yep.
But
a year or two to like find the financial freedom to be ready to pay rent and maybe find a roommate or something. The
Yeah.
last thing I want is to say, I am not going to have you live under my roof if you're not going to go to college. Like, you have a good job, you have enough money, like you're able to pay rent. Like, you can do this on your own. Like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, like, they're living paycheck to paycheck.
right. I see what you're saying. I just think that
But they're not living in my house until they're 30, regardless of if they go to college or not.
I don't know. Like, I see what you're saying, and obviously when the time comes, I'll probably respond and act differently. But I just feel like if you are not going to go to college, then you can live on your own. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I
Ultimately, yes.
ultimately, if I didn't go to college, I would have
You just make it sound like,
I would have moved out. I'm not kicking them out as soon as they graduate high school.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I will help you find an apartment. If I have to, like, co-sign on an apartment, whatever,
Yeah.
I will help you. But, like, you're going to be paying for rent. Like, you're going to be figuring this out, because if I don't, I'm, like, laughing hysterically because, like, we think we know so much.
well, it's also like we don't even have kids. Like, what
Right.
if they don't even...
What if this isn't how it works?
Well,
but
also,
I think that...
are you going to pay for your kids' college?
Yes.
So what if you have a college fund and they end up not going to college?
Then I put it towards... Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I
But I don't
want to have a college fund so that I can pay for my kids' college. I think
I-
not necessarily like a college fund, just like a life fund. Like,
right. Well, like, it can help you buy your first house.
yeah, buy your first house.
That's what my dad did, because my brother got his college paid for, and so the funds that my dad had set up for my brother went towards his house.
Perfect.
So, like, I'll help you buy your first house, whatever. I think it's all circumstantial. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My mentality is, if I don't get my kids out of the house, they're never going to do anything. That might not be true. I understand that, but that's how I think. That's just kind of what goes through my head, is like,
Okay, the next thing,
yeah, tangent.
which I'm going to talk first because you talk for too long.
You talk for too long sometimes too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. How do we feel about allowances and like financially supporting our kids? I just think of high school because, like, in what
We
mean,
were so different in high
obviously,
school, money wise.
money wise. I financially supporting my kids, I want to be exactly how Hyundai's parents were.
Really?
Which, here's the thing. I just think
We were very similar. Our parents didn't really pay
Yeah.
for everything when we were in high school.
I got a job willingly when I was 15. Was your first job at
the
Bethany?
daycare.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I got my first job willingly. My parents gave me my first car. I didn't have to pay a car, insurance, whatever. I had to pay for my own gas. That's literally basically it. Right? That's pretty much it. I just had to pay for my own gas. And then, like, every time I wanted to go out to eat with my friends, at first, like, I would ask my mom, like, hey, can I have $20? Like, we're going to eat.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, yeah, sure, here. But then I would ask her again, like, 3 days later, and she'd be like, bruh, you just went,
You literally just went out.
like, 3 days ago. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll just use my own money, whatever. But then as, like, time went on and I got more money and I would, like, want a pair of clothes or like a sweatshirt or something, I'd just
Yeah.
buy it myself. So I ended up just buying a lot of stuff myself. What I want to do, if I can, and I'll get to this, I will be able to. I will be able
We're gonna make
to.
a firm statement on
I
that.
want like all of my kids' money, if they have a job, to be saved for them, and like I want to be able to like pay for their gas and pay for their food if they're hanging out with their friends, because if they weren't with their friends, I would be paying for it anyways. You know?
Yeah, that's a fair
And
point.
I don't know. I just feel like I appreciate the way that I had to pay for my own stuff because I appreciate my own stuff a lot more. But I don't know.
I think in her in her situation, she turned out really well. I think there
Yeah.
were kids in our high school that had the same situation that turned out really snobby.
And I'm not saying I'm going to give them unlimited
So
money.
that's the thing. Like that's what I'm a little cautious about.
Like it's going to be
But I do like
it's going to be set straight. Like
you're gonna have a job.
you're going to have a job, you're going to work. I'm not going to make them work somewhere they don't want to. I'm not going to start working right when they're 14.
But you're not going to be the one driving in your friend group. Like, I'm not going to be paying for all of your friends' gas because
Yeah.
that happened with a couple of our friends. It was like, oh, your parents pay for your gas. Like, you can just drive. But it's like, no, that's kind of unfair. Like, just because
Yeah.
their parents pay for their gas doesn't mean anything.
No.
Like, whatever. So, like, I agree.
I want to buy my kids their first car.
I've thought about that. I was gifted 2 cars, which bless the
Olivia
Lord
was gifted
Almighty.
her very first car,
Like,
and then she decided she didn't like it anymore. So guess what? She got a new one.
I would have been fine if I wouldn't have gotten it. But they got a really good deal on the car that I have now, and so they were like, whatever, we'll just buy it for her, my sweet 16. I was that girl who got a car.
Yeah,
for
she
her
got a
sweet
car for her
16.
16th birthday.
But there was a girl that I was friends with in middle school when she moved here from Iowa. And her parents went halvesies.
Really?
So they said, we will match what you save. You save up, if you save up $1, we'll give you $1. If you save up 13 grand, we'll give you 13 grand.
I didn't know that.
And I kind of like it. Like, here's the thing. Do I want my kids to have to pay for their own car? No, because I didn't pay for my own car. But it kind of gives them a sense of like saving their money. So I think what I might do in that aspect is like I will match what you save, but just buy it for them.
Okay, that makes sense.
And not make be
Yeah.
like, okay,
So like
I
if you save
appreciate-
5,000, I'll match the 5,000. So
Yeah,
then
but then-
they'll get a $10,000 car that you'll pay for, but they will have 5,000 saved.
Yes.
That makes sense. That's a good idea.
Right? But like I don't want them to know that like I'm not going to. So hopefully this is deep in the graves before they
Yeah.
become alive. I'm sorry, my kids will not have iPads. Nope.
My kids will not be
Nope.
iPad kids.
They will be getting out playing in the dirt.
had-
Not happening. I don't care how
Yeah.
much they hate me. They're also not getting cell phones until at least 8th grade
I
or
had my
older.
first phone when I was in 6th grade,
I
and I thought that was a great time.
I
At
had my
that time, I
phone.
was still not allowed to have like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
They find the ways though. They find their ways.
Girl, by then, you can have like, honey, I'll get you an Apple Watch, and that can have a phone number on it.
That's what I'm saying. I'll get you a little gizmo and you
Yeah,
can call
gizmo.
me via gizmo.
Yep.
You're
I'll-
not getting a phone.
Maybe by then there'll just be like a little chip we can put in their brain to call them.
I'm not chipping my
And
kids.
track them.
I am not chipping my
I'm
kids.
not chipping my kids.
I
either.
have just had a couple of family members who have just gone through some things.
Who had their kids chipped? Their kids are chipped?
No, they just went through some things.
They
so,
have
like,
major iPad kids.
They have major iPad kids, but also like social media issues at young ages, and it's just like I want to avoid that
Yeah.
as much as possible. Also, why I want to homeschool my kids.
limiting. Okay, But screen time on personal devices, non-existent. We're going to watch TVs and movies and whatever. They can have a little Nintendo Switch. Like, we're going to be playing games as a family.
Let's play some board games, though.
Yeah, board games too. Like, I know a family that's like limit screen time to the max. Like, and they won't even let them play like the Nintendo Switch, like Mario Kart. I'm like, why?
It's a game.
Like, they're playing a game together. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's screen time. It's a TV.
Every kid's going to have screen time, especially
Like, if you're
you
worried
send them
about
to
blue
daycare.
light. Did you know that 25 minutes in the sun is more blue light exposure than 8 hours of being on your computer every day for 5 days a week? So
You heard it here,
basically,
folks.
blue light glasses are a scam,
No, they low-key are. and
which
that's
is why we don't sell them.
One of our doctors, like, he said unless they're yellow, they don't work. I said,
Yeah, 100% blue light glasses have a yellow tint. Anyways,
yeah.
this is episode 3.
Are we ending it here?
I think we should. It's been a while.
We've been talking a minute, and I
Um,
think we could continue to talk, but we talked about so much at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like discipline.
Should we like rapid fire?
Rapid fire?
Do you believe in timeouts?
Yes.
I do too.
To
Do
an
you
extent,
believe?
I don't know. I don't want to be the
Um,
parent that hits my kid either.
What would you do if your kids ended up having different beliefs from you?
I would cry.
Okay.
I would cry. Like
What do you
like,
mean what do you think when I say different beliefs?
Like, I'm thinking different religious beliefs.
Okay.
It would make me sad just because, like, my religion is my entire life. The Lord is my savior. He is my rock. Like, I will never, that I'm not ashamed of it. I will preach on it. If you have questions, let me know. I love the Lord. And if my kids don't see how much, like the significance of that in their lives, that will, like, pain me. Like, that will
Okay.
hurt me. If, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to, like, disown them or love them any differently, but it's definitely going to hurt. You know?
Yeah.
I think one thing is if my kids come out as gay, that's going to be, I will love my kids just the same. Like, I think, how can I not? They're my kid.
Yeah. Like not out of an anti-LGBTQ way.
Yeah.
I just would think and worry that like it was my fault.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want like my relationship with my husband and like them growing up in that environment. People in the world would be like, that's like they indoctrinated their kids. That's why they're gay. But
Weird people.
anyways,
People are crazy. Let's be real. No.
if
I
my
think-
kids were gay, come on, not going to be homophobic towards my own children.
Right. Okay, we should probably be done.
I think we need to be
because-
done. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you
All
enjoyed this
right.
episode.
I hope that was productive for you.
Let us know how you
guys.
like our new studio.
Yeah, and how you like we'll get
In
this
New York.
figured out eventually.
Yeah.